And then he comes to me and tell me, Zeus, you're wrong.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Welcome to the show.
I'ma make them suffer, they some balls.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
All of my haters are sipping fake tea. I'ma make them suffer, they some balls.
Right.
All of my haters are sipping fake tea. It's getting real dangerous like Drake's Passage. All of my haters going the
Greetings,
wrong way.
ladies and gentlemen.
Deep in their heart, they know they jealous of me. I got them running from me like a tidal wave. All the Zeus hate came out of nowhere.
Right.
I'm talking next level, take another stand.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday.
I really care. I hear you haters out, leave you on a chair. What you say is make believe, sipping on that fake tea. Talking kinda crazy when you on that fake tea. Now it's time to take
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday.
You know who I came with. All you haters hating.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we came to do. All right. You know exactly what we came to do. Let's go.
I'ma make it suffer, they some cars. All of my haters are sipping fake tea.
Correct.
I'ma make them suffer, they some cars.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
All of my haters are sipping fake tea.
Yeah.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially showtime. Let's go.
Nothing wrong.
It's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we came to do. Good morning, everyone. Go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and find you a nice spot to sit down in and get ready for the show. I am your host, and I am your pilot. Yo, baby daddy, I knew you would be here. I got a special broadcast for you. I think I'm going to get you next.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, headed to class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so long, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you rich and famous. The algorithm turned to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And this thing is my expert.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
They don't keep me positive, they text me.
Let's go.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Live.
That shit was radical.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus
This
is
is going way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Good morning, Vicky. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning,
It's
everyone.
like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
All right, DJ, go ahead and kill the music. All right. Go ahead and kill the music,
I'm like the
DJ.
Terminator screaming.
Go ahead and kill the music, DJ. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, Miss Morningstar. Hope everyone had a nice and relaxing weekend. And actually, spent time with your family and your friends and your loved ones, because I do know that this app can be a bit overwhelming. And so, I do always encourage people to, take care of yourselves. All right. Don't spend too much time on this app arguing with folks. Get out there and see what's going on in the real world. All right. That's really important. All right. But without further, ado, let's get straight into this. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H stands for honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me. You might as well pretend like my hand is resting on a nice stack of Bibles the entire time this show is actually going, right? That's the first H. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. It just turns out I haven't been wrong lately, all right? And that's just how the cookie crumbles. But if I were wrong, I definitely would be first in line to apologize, all right? And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain, you guessed it, the most handsome. Now, many of you are very familiar with what we do over here on this side of town. On this side of TikTok, what we do is very, very special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as crimes. As a matter of fact, I actually think we also are in the business of converting Trump supporters into rational thinkers, right? And so if you are one of those people out there that are factose or intolerant, right, as my good friend Swervin likes to say, that means you're allergic to facts. You might want to leave this live and go on about your miserable day, all right? And you go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. You know who they are. Yo Baby Daddy, is that his name? Whatever he want to call himself. Snuggles, all right? And all of these fake TikTok lawyers, these fake TikTok attorneys, these fake TikTok hosts, you go over there and hang out with them because these people, they'll lie to you, all right? What does he say? Remember when you said Trump would not be on the ballot? No, I don't remember that, but he was taken off, though. He was taken off, but then they put him back on. Yo, baby daddy, what is your point? And if you go read the rest of that, you'll also see that they also said Donald Trump participated in an insurrection. So you can't just pick and choose what you want to believe Zeus on, and then the other stuff you say you don't want to believe. Either you believe Zeus or you don't. But you need to quit being a loser and quit defending Donald Trump, yo, baby daddy, because it's getting sick. Seriously. You're too old, you're a grown man, well, at least you look like one, and you are still out here defending the indefensible. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Yo Baby Daddy what he deserves. He came into my show already ready to lie. Let's give him our first round of booze and shame. Get out of here, Yo Baby Daddy. You're such a liar, bro. I mean, seriously. You don't got anything else to do today? So listen up, you Trump. So listen up, Trump supporters. If you don't like it here, you know what I say. You don't have to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Yep.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Mm-hmm. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
That's right, Yo Baby Daddy and Snuggles and all of you Russian bears. I have a zero tolerance for liars and seditionists, treasonous traitors on this platform. Zero tolerance. I don't allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. Many of you have been following me for a long time to know I'm actually a very nice person. I'll hear you out. But once you start, swerving into the lies and the misinformation and the disinformation and the racism and the misogyny, I'm going to stop you right there. See, the problem with a lot of you Trump supporters is you lack critical thinking skills, all right? And you know deep down in your heart, Donald Trump isn't a great person. You know this. But yet and still, you get on this app and you continue to lie for him. And it's indefensible, it's inexcusable, and it just goes to show how low Donald Trump and his supporters will go. All right, this is some sick stuff they have gotten this country in, and that's why I will continue to do the wonderful work that I've been doing. Yeah, you do need to delete the app, Yo Baby Daddy, because think about it. What has this app done for you, Yo Baby Daddy? Any Trump supporters out there? Ask yourself, how has TikTok helped make your life better? Jeff, I haven't seen him yet, but I told Jeff he's more than welcome to come on the show today. From what I understand, Jeff HVAC, many of you know who he is. He was a defender of Donald Trump who has now seen the light. He's talked to not just me, but a lot of my friends out here, and he's came to the real conclusion that there's just no way a person in their right mind could continue to support Donald Trump. And so my hope is that all of you Trump supporters out there, you look at him as an example. It's not too late to get off the Trump train, MAGA. It really isn't, but you gotta want to actually get off. I know a lot of you have low self-esteem, especially the conservative men out there. A lot of you got low self-esteem. You probably haven't been on a date in years, right? So you're out of the loop, as they like to say. Good morning, Rick. And so you got to start somewhere. It starts with you getting off of that disgusting Trump train, all right, and starting to use your brain and thinking critically, all right? Yes. Now let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know what? I agree with you. It's going to be hard to trust somebody that's trying to make a big change in life. But I've decided, I'd rather you openly admit you don't support Donald Trump than have to keep arguing with you over the same nonsense. All right. So as long as I'm not arguing with you over the same nonsense, it is what it is. Yeah. Just an FYI, yes, Donald Trump is back in the courtroom today, fighting for his life, but we all know it's not going to work. A lot of us already know Donald Trump is guilty, and everything that these Trump supporters are out here saying, you know, they want to bring up Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen's not on trial, right? That doesn't count. Stormy Daniels, she's not on trial. Melania is not on trial. You know who's on trial? Donald Trump. And you know what we got? We got an abundant amount of evidence, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and so let's get this show started. All right, we got a couple of salient points that I would like to cover before we open up those boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box. By the way, the offer still stands. If there is a Trump supporter, it's an absolute sham of a trial. Would you like to come up here real quickly, if you don't mind? What are we going to call you? Nasty Hughes? Would you like to come up here? I sent you a quick invite. I normally don't do this because this is my time. But when people start saying things like that in my chat, you know, poisoning the blood of my life, I got to talk to them and ask them what the heck is going on. So, what did you say? It's an absolute sham of a trial. Won't you come back up here? Come back up here. Mr. Who thinks this is a sham of a trial? You come on back up here. Why did you not come up here and defend that ridiculous statement? Don't get scared now, because I want to know. Yeah. There he is, right there. There he is. Thank you for pinning the back up here. Come on up here. Be brave. Be a man for Donald Trump, whoever you are. Be a real MAGA soldier this morning. All right. I was trying to be nice to you. Come on up here and explain why it's an absolute sham of a trial. You liar. See what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? Every time I catch one of these Trump supporters lying in my chat, and I'm going to bring them up. Oh, I caught you in a lie. Come on up and talk about it. You know what they do? They decline the invitation, which tells me that they know what they're saying isn't true. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give seditionist, treasonous Hughes in my chat what he deserves. A round of boos and shame. See, I don't need you to come up here. I don't need you to come up here to give you the booze and the shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
See, listen, MAGA, I don't really need you to come up in the box in order to give you booze and shame. I'm actually being nice by allowing you to at least try to explain yourself. So when I invite you up here to actually put a little meat on the bone behind the lies you're spewing in the chat, use this as your opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to actually be heard from whatever dark rock, from whatever dark corner of this country you're in. You're all a bunch of liars. I get it. Let's hear the lies and air them out right now so you don't have to walk around another day on this planet going, I believe this lie. No, you don't, because Zeus told you the truth. I'm trying to actually set you free, but you all are so stuck. Let's get started today, ladies and gentlemen, with some Donald Trump updates. All right, now this is an insult to the intelligence, all right, of black folks. All right, Donald Trump's claim before a predominantly white crowd of gun owners on Saturday that he has done more for black Americans than President Abraham Lincoln was, we had to call him out on this, ladies and gentlemen. So let's listen to what Donald Trump said in front of one of his White Hood rallies. We're going to call it a little meetup with the Klan. Look at what he said to everyone in front of the Klan, ladies and gentlemen.
And on Saturday at an NRA conference, Donald Trump again claimed he is the best president for black Americans, and that he did more for the black community as president than Abraham Lincoln, who, of course, abolished slavery. Take a look.
And likewise, we're doing record numbers with the African American voters. They are tired of what's happening to them. And honestly, there's been no president since Abraham Lincoln, and perhaps in a certain way, including Abraham Lincoln, but there's been no president since Abraham Lincoln that has done more for the black individual in this country than President Donald J. Trump. There's been nobody, not even close.
Well,
Well, that statement is an insult to the intelligence of the American voters of all races. Donald Trump, under his presidency, nominated 3 justices that he takes credit for ending women's right to choose. These same 3 justices helped to change voting rights forever, taking out certain parts of the voting rights bill, and ended affirmative action. That's what Donald Trump did. We had record black unemployment. He gave a fraction of what Joe Biden has given to HBCUs. So for him to say that he did more for blacks than Barack Obama, than FDR, than Eisenhower, I'm talking about Republican and Democrat, more than Barack Obama, he didn't do more than George Bush, who I marched on every opportunity that I had. So for him to say that is to say that we're stupid. And let me also say this. For him to float out there that he's thinking of trying to appeal to black voters by putting someone like Tim Scott on the ticket, I dare Donald Trump to put Tim Scott on the ticket. Tim Scott was the one that helped to sabotage the George Floyd bill. He, Kamala Harris, and the senator from New Jersey were supposed to be the ones to bring it together, and Scott stopped it. Scott also opposed many of our efforts in the civil rights community. So be my guest, Donald. Think you can placate us with somebody that just genuflects to you rather than serves their constituents?
Well, Donald Trump thinks black people are stupid. And anybody that's black and votes for Donald Trump, you know what? You're helping him believe that. Do you understand what's going on? How on earth is Donald Trump trying to say he did more for black people in this country than Abraham Lincoln? That is, to me, gaslighting at its finest level. And it also is proof that a lot of people in this country have no idea about American history. Donald Trump hasn't done, I got to keep it clean. Let me go ahead and say it. Donald Trump hasn't done for black people. Donald Trump only cares about himself. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further. Donald Trump has actually made sure black people are put in jail at the highest rate possible. That's what he's used all his wealth. That's what he's used all his power to do, is incarcerate black folk. And if you call that, doing more for black people, then you know what? Maybe you're right. What's embarrassing, and I'm going to go there. What's embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen, is we still have black folks in this country still supporting Donald Trump, even though they know he's a racist. What kind of sense is that? What? And then they turn around and try to act like it's the Democrats and Joe Biden. No, it is not. Go look throughout American history. You always know there's always been a group of racist people in this country ever since this nation was founded. That's not unique to the Democrat Party. It's about where they're at now. And right now, all of the racists in this country seem to be under the Donald Trump camp, under the Donald Trump cult, right? This is where they're at. And so I don't want to hear anything about, the party switch with the Democrats. I don't want to hear about Donald Trump and all your little obsessions with him. And he likes Tim Scott, so that means he's fine. No, he doesn't. He didn't put any black Supreme Court justices on there. He didn't do a single thing, and I guarantee you he won't pick Tim Scott to be his VP because he knows what'll happen. All the racists, the ones that he told to stand back and stand by, and the ones that he said, those are very fine people on both sides. Yeah, the ones that were attacking yo special black behind. They would be upset if he put Tim Scott on the ticket as his VP. So guess what? Frank. Oh, Frank, go get your main account. You said Trump is not racist. See, Frank, I got to tell you a little secret. Whenever you have to say you're not racist, 10 times out of 10, that means you are racist. See, you shouldn't even have to defend yourself from saying that, Frank. The fact that you have to say it is proof that you're racist. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Frank, as well as his cult leader, Donald Trump, what he deserves, because they think black folks in this country are stupid. No, that's not true. But you do have some who have drinking that Kool-Aid, all right? And they got the red lips. They got the red lips, and they go around kissing Donald Trump's rear end. Those folks, I agree, they might be a little special. But for the rest of us, absolutely not. Join me in giving them what they deserve. A round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. You go vote for them.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Yeah. See, again, I don't allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. All right, I really don't. Because I know that really they are the harassers, they are the abusers, and yes, the gloves are off, ladies and no. Oh, Jeff. I'm okay. Come on, Jeff. Come on up here. Bring your special behind up here, Jeff. You said you're not racist, but Zeus seems to be. Jeff, come on up here. Jeff, come on. I sent you an invite, you liar. See, this is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Every time they put something ridiculous in my chat, I'm going to send them an invite and ask them to put a little meat on the bone. And as we can see, we have a racist in the comment. His name is Jeff Demeester, whatever that name means. Sounds racist to me, Jeff. And he refuses to come up and actually back up what it is he's saying. He says, I'm racist. Well, Jeff, come on up here and explain how Zeus is racist. Tell me what I've done that makes me racist, and then tell me why Trump isn't racist. All right, and I guarantee you, the rest of us will see the biggest liar on TikTok this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Jeff Demeester a round of booze and shame. Jeff, you're a liar and a racist and a traitor.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right. Let's get back. I was going to kind of pivot away from the race issue, but I see right now we got to dive right into it. It seems like Kid Rock, one of those MAGA demons out there, it seems like his horns are starting to show, his racist horns. And this is why a lot of us Democrats, all right, not just Democrats, anybody out there that actually can think freely without the cloud of all of Donald Trump's rhetoric, in their mind. This is why we say you're racist. Because all we got to do is give you a little bourbon, a little gin. What was he saying in a recent interview, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kid Rock, ladies and gentlemen, who basically exposed himself in an interview with the Rolling Stone. He says, "Would you do me a favor? All right. Just write the most horrific article about me. It helps me." This is what a MAGA demon says, all right? And it starts with him basically saying, after switching from white wine to bourbon and Coke, midway through a sit-down interview with Rolling Stone, the MAGA-loving rocker began shouting at the journalist, David Peisner, who reports that his subject proceeded to pull out a pew-pew and wave it in his face. This is the MAGA demon surfacing. And I got a effing GD gun right here if I need it, he writes. I got them everywhere. To be fair, the preceding 2 hours of the interview were also pockmarked with bizarre exchanges, including a moment where Rick D rallied against immigrants before crying out 9/11. By the evening, slid off the rails after the pew-pew came out, spewing the N-word. Ladies and gentlemen, he was saying the N-word. Let me ask a lot of you out here. Does anyone think Kid Rock should be able to use the N-word? Anyone out there think Kid Rock should be able to use the N-word? Anyone out there think he should be able to? Oh, Matt, you think he should be? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, someone out here, a MAGA demon. Oh, Matt, come on up here, Matt. I sent you an invite. Come up here and explain to Zeus why you believe Kid Rock should be able to use the N-word. Come on up here, Matt. We all saw Matt put yes in the chat, right? I think anyone can. Okay, Andrew, you only got 14 followers. I'm looking for a Trump supporter, MAGA, to come up in this live, because there's some of you putting yes out there, and maybe you want to say yes, but you're afraid. Don't be afraid. Put yes in the chat, all right, if you really believe Kid Rock should be able to say the N-word. Oh, okay, you'll talk. Okay. We have a brave soul. Come on up here and explain to Zeus why you believe Kid Rock should be able to say the. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, what's up? I'm Kevin. Why are you allowed
Kevin.
to say it?
Kevin, I brought you up here because I was asking everyone if they believe Kid Rock should be able to say the N word, and you know what the N word is, correct?
Yes, I do. It's
Okay,
a
okay,
word.
okay, 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 okay.
It's a
So
word of
no, listen,
power.
listen, listen, listen,
No,
listen.
no.
This is listen.
Let me talk.
Listen, I'm going to open up the boxes later and we can flush this out, but I got to be quick. So you know what the N word? You believe Kid Rock should be able to say the N word, right, Kevin?
Yep.
Why?
Are you allowed to say? Are you
Why?
allowed to say king to your dad?
No, 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 no,
No, no,
no.
no. No.
Kevin.
The N word. The N
Kevin,
word is a
Kevin.
word of power. It's a word of power.
The N word is a word of power?
It's a word of friendship.
Yeah. And so what else is it?
That's all it is. It's a word of friendship.
Do you use the N word?
I do with
You
my
do?
black friends. I do.
How do you say it?
I say with the er.
Would you like to say it right now?
What's up, my nigger?
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Kevin is clearly a delusional Trump supporter. Listen up, Kevin. What I had to do is, I'm sorry, but you got in trouble in the show. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, these Trump supporters have clearly lost their mind. Does anyone believe Kevin goes around and actually uses that word the way that he says he uses it? Does anyone believe Kevin, ladies and gentlemen? No. See, Kevin, the problem is you got up on my box and you started lying and thinking that you could get away with saying things that you shouldn't be able to say, Kevin. And so, because of that, Kevin, you've been banished from the kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, please do your thing. Kevin is a liar. He's a racist, and he doesn't understand that clearly he's not one of us. Kevin, you're a seditionist, treasonous traitor, and you're also a racist. Join me in giving Kevin, because he listens to Kid Rock, what he deserves: a round of booze and shame. You heard it. And so when people say, well, Zeus, why do people say MAGA is racist? That's why. They're racist because they think there's nothing wrong with them talking and behaving like that. I wish Kevin would be right. Kevin, if you're still here, I want you to come up right after I open up the boxes and then turn your camera on so we could actually put an address on your racist behind, all right? Because what you basically did, Kevin, I'm going to be honest, what you basically did is you let the cat out of the bag. Now the gloves are officially off with you and MAGA. That's all I needed. I just needed to have someone like yourself come up here and just spew and show that you're a racist. No, 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 no. It is MAGA. That's MAGA, Pete. Pete, we have no reason to lie. And you know what's actually quite kind of sad? What Kevin did, that goes on all day on this app. And then you Trump supporters get out here and you say, "Oh, but we're not racist." You're very racist. Kevin, to be honest with you, you shouldn't talk like that. You don't have the right to use that N-word, Kevin. It's a very offensive term. And it's not a term of endearment, especially the way that you said it. The way that you said it, it's not a term of endearment. There's no place in this country that you can go, especially if you're talking corporate and business. There's no way in the world you would go in there and use such a term. And I know for a fact, Kevin, you wouldn't go into no communities of color and say that. Now listen to you black folks out there. For all you black folks that continue to promote Donald Trump, I blame you for what Kevin just did. See, what you black folks who support Donald Trump just did, what you black folks who support Donald Trump did, you pretty much gave folks like Kevin and Kid Rock a green light to go around and call you that. Because he ain't calling me that, I guarantee you. Yeah. But see, this is what Donald Trump and his supporters are bringing to the forefront. All right, and this is why I say they're the biggest threat to our country. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, I got a couple of more topics to go, and then yeah. My live has been flagged. Oh my gosh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Well, we're gonna continue to bring the truth, all right? Because you know what? This is what it is. So We'll calm down on the racism a little bit because I understand that could actually get people worked up. But I'll be back on that. All right, don't you worry. For those of you who love to, fantasize about Donald Trump's, you say I should continue to bring it. All right. For those of you who like to fantasize about, how great the economy was under Donald J. Trump, this is a bit of a reminder. This, hold on one second. Oh my gosh, I'm having a couple of, hold on one second. Hold on. Oh my goodness, we're having some sort of technical issues over here. I'm so sorry. Hold on, Jesus Christ. All right. For those of you who love to go back and fantasize about how great the economy, I will continue to speak truth, all right? And that's why I do what I do. You never know what's going to happen when you invite people on the box. And I'll be honest, I didn't think Kevin would actually go as far as to say that. But the fact that he felt so comfortable to be racist on TikTok today, it just goes to show that this country has a lot more work to do when it comes to racism. And it goes to actually show why MAGA is racist. Kevin is clearly out of his mind. Let's go back in time to May of 2020. You all remember what was happening in 2020, right? That was during the thick of the pandemic. This, when you ask these Trump supporters, were you better off today than you were 4 years ago? Right? When you ask them that, they like to say, yes, I was better off 4 years ago than I am today. Well, we got some information to share out. One, the United States economy during this time 4 years ago was facing irreparable damage from the pandemic. The nation's top economic policymaker warned, all right, this is Steve Mnuchin. Although they offer differing solutions on how to ease the blow to businesses that has thrown more than 20 million people out of work. 4 years ago, 20 million people were thrown out of work right here in the United States. MAGA, did you forget this, MAGA? Did you forget this happened 4 years ago? In a joint appearance before the Senate Banking Committee Treasurer Secretary Steve Mnuchin and the Fed Chair Jerome H. Powell offered a stark assessment of the fragile state of the economy as lawmakers and the Trump administration grapple with how to restart commerce and whether additional government support was needed. Mr. Mnuchin, who acknowledged a painful month ahead, suggested that an expeditious reopening of the states was key to preventing irreversible economic devastation. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, 4 years ago, this country wasn't doing better. Donald Trump had this economy on its knees. Yeah, that's because of the pandemic. So once again, MAGA, I've caught you in another lie. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me in giving Donald Trump and his lying supporters what they deserve. Because 20 million people were out of work during the pandemic. And these same liars get on TikTok and try to cry and pretend like it's Joe Biden that's actually making their lives worse. No, it's not. It's Donald Trump. Join me in giving them what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. Pumpkin, no you weren't. Pumpkin, no you were not doing better. I promise you. If you were doing better, Pumpkin, you got your, you know what, Pumpkin? Come on up here. Come on up here, Pumpkin. Let's see. We got another liar out there. It's the crazy Dems and the liberals. Oh yeah, where are you at, Pumpkin? You said you were doing better. Oh yeah, where's that at? Let me see where you at, Pumpkin. Cause see, when these folks like to get up here and start lying. Oh, Pumpkin, you only got 11 followers. All right. Well, listen, Pumpkin, go get your main account, and what I want you to do is get a screenshot of what your bank statement said. All right, 4 years ago. All right, I would really, really love to see it. All right. Let's talk about some more MAGA business, all right? And this is something I actually posted a video on, all right? And I just want to remind you, Trump supporters, why I've been sent here on TikTok, all right? Part of the reason that I've been sent here on TikTok is to be the, what they call the voice in the wild, crying out, all right? MAGA, I want you all to understand Donald Trump is on his way to prison. And nothing will give Zeus more joy than to watch Donald Trump get convicted and sentenced and torn away from all of his supporters because of his crimes. Yeah. So they asked ChatGPT to be a juror in Donald Trump's hush money trial. And, ChatGPT is an unbiased software app, all right? And what they did, ladies and gentlemen, is they put over 4,000 documents of transcripts into ChatGPT to actually see what the results would be. Okay, 4,179 pages of transcripts. All right, they provided this ChatGPT with it, and what they said was this: OpenAI's ChatGPT and Perplexity weighed in, and both said they would find Donald Trump guilty. Quote, I would vote guilty on charges of falsifying business records. Perplexity responded definitively. The prosecution has provided credible and significant evidence that proves beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump engaged in the alleged conduct. ChatGPT initially hesitated to give a definitive answer, saying its decision would depend heavily on the credibility of the witness and the clarity of the evidentiary documents. But after follow-up questions prompted in to decide how to weigh the evidence, OpenAI bot said its decision would be to find Donald Trump guilty based on the evidence provided in the transcripts. Both chatbots pointed to the prosecution's documentary evidence, including financial records and communications, as bolstering the case against Trump. The records suggest that these transactions were not only known to Trump, but were executed with his involvement or under his directive. ChatGPT said, adding that the evidence shows a deliberate effort by Donald Trump to suppress damaging information during the election, indicating intent. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what we have is an unbiased evaluation of the evidence. This is not about Donald Trump paying hush money to Stormy Daniels. This is about falsifying business records. And what a lot of you Trump supporters don't understand, and I'm going to continue to remind you of it, what a lot of you don't understand is if he's going to pay hush money to Stormy Daniels, why not just pay her directly? Why are you routing it through Michael Cohen? Someone you call a liar. Listen, if we were to start the joke off, a president of the United States, you go into a room, there's the president of the United States, an adult film star, and a convicted felon. Let's just put that as the setting, MAGA. What the heck is the president doing in a room with a convicted felon and an adult film star? See, that's how you know it's all bad. It's downhill after that. You can't say, oh, well, he was in there baptizing them, right? It's all bad. There's no way a president, one that's married, his wife just had a kid, should be in a room with such people unless they too are part of the crime. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters what they deserve. Another round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. Yeah. I see there's some dissension in my comment section, all right? I see a lot of these Trump supporters, they're out today. They're out, they're out this morning and they're very angry. And I don't know if you've been following this on TikTok. I'm going to step away from the show for a quick second and dive right into the meat and potatoes. Part of the reason these Trump supporters are doubling down on their misogyny, they're doubling down on their racism. The real reason they're doing it, the reason they're out here angry at Zeus this morning and they're not hiding it anymore, is because they know their daddy is going to prison. You hear that, MAGA? You know your daddy is going to prison. And it's scaring the lights out of you. I get it. You're terrified. You can't believe Zeus has been right this entire time. Yeah. He's going to get convicted faster than your heads can spin. And then they're going to do with him what they've done to a lot of other people in this country that have been convicted. They're going to sentence him. It scares you. I want you to be scared. Keep showing Zeus how scared you are, MAGA, because I'm not letting up. I'm not letting up. As a matter of fact, I got something else that I want to scare you with, all right? Here we go. You know what this is? This is a reminder to you Trump supporters about why Donald Trump won't be president of this country again. I don't care about his poll numbers. I don't care about the rally sizes. All that's fantasy stuff. To be honest with you, MAGA, if Joe Biden wanted to have a large rally, he could do it. All we would do is the same thing Donald Trump does. Go find some black folk, pay them $50, tell them to go in there with these Biden shirts. All right, now we got some blacks. Do the same thing with the Latin, pay them $50, tell them to go on in there. All right, he got some more money than Donald Trump. He's been fundraising and he's making way more money than Donald Trump. All right. And he could literally pay to have a larger crowd than the former president. But we don't need that. We don't need that. Because we would also know that Joe Biden was definitely just making that up. That's not really what's going on in it. We would know that's fake. But you, Trump supporters, y'all believe everything this man says. Everything. And we know you're willing to throw your lives away for him. And with that, it makes it easier for me to do what I've been doing. All right, so let's get into one of the last parts of the show, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll open up the box, all right? And I hope Kevin is here today. I mean, that guy, Kevin, I hope you're still out here because we're going to get to the bottom of your racism this morning, all right? We really will be. Many of the Trump supporters right now, they don't want to admit it, but they know Donald Trump isn't going to get reelected. That's why Donald Trump is to this day right now already planting seeds of doubt about the actual election that's coming up in November. He's already programming you Trump supporters to not trust the results. The only person that needs to do that is someone that knows they're going to lose, right? Right? Luke, no, it wasn't. So what happened in 2020, ladies and gentlemen, when Donald Trump realized that he was going to lose the 2020 election? Well, this is me explaining how Donald Trump ended up in the situation he is as it relates to January 6th. When Donald Trump realized that Joe Biden was going to beat him, Donald Trump decided to engage in what we all call the big lie.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
It's a rigged election. That's the only way we're going to lose, is what he told his silly little supporters. The ones that don't know how to think. The ones that are hell-bent on being racist. Right? So what happened next? Well, you guessed it. You guessed it. The election results came out, and we all saw that there was no red wave. There was instead a blue tsunami. All right? It was a blue tsunami. It was a big blue wall. And Biden beat Trump in the battleground states. Arizona turned blue, and MAGA lost it. They couldn't believe that Joe Biden ran a better campaign than Donald Trump. So what did Donald Trump do after the results came in? Well, we all know what we heard him do. He came out, and did he concede? Did he concede? Nope, he didn't concede. He did not concede. Instead, he came out and did this.
He had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Right, right. See, that seed of doubt about it being rigged, he poured a little water on it. All right? He poured a little water. He didn't concede, and then he went one step further.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Can I ask a question? Are there any Trump supporters that believe what Donald Trump just said? By the way, save women's rights and common sense. I believe in that, but Donald Trump isn't the right one to do that. Is there anybody that believes that Donald Trump really won still? I'm asking, because does anyone still believe him when he says that? Oh, look at this, Christopher. Oh, Mr. Rodriguez. He still believes this lie. Oh, well, you know, Donald Trump knew that folks like Christopher in my chat believed him. And that's the moment when they went from being regular Trump supporters to being radicalized soldiers for Donald Trump. All right. They became the modern day Confederate soldiers, and Donald Trump assumed the role of the modern day Jefferson Davis. All right. So now these angry Trump supporters, they're ready to do whatever Donald Trump says. And guess what they decided to do next? I'll tell you what happened. You all remember this. You all remember this. Attention! This is Donald Trump to his Confederate soldiers, like the one in my chat, Christopher Rodriguez. Attention, Christopher! I lost to Joe Biden, and I'm very angry. This is what he says to his supporters. I need you to sell everything that you have and send the proceeds to me, Christopher. Send them to me, so that'll make Daddy real happy. But then I need you to do me a nice solid. I need you to meet me in Washington, D.C. at an event that I am hosting called Stop the Steal. Be there, will be wild. Well, you know, Christopher said, well, is that an opportunity for me and Donald Trump to end up in a bedroom together somewhere nice and sweaty? An offer I can't refuse. And so Christopher sold all that he had, all right? And he sent the money to Donald Trump. And then you want to know what Christopher Special Behind did, ladies and gentlemen? You see this right here? You see this U-Haul? Christopher needed a way to Washington, D.C. Him and a couple of other guys. Him and another guy. Couple guys. How are we going to get to Washington, D.C.? Somebody came up with an idea that if they rented a U-Haul, that they could get a lot of guys out there to be in, you know, getting a lot of guys out to Washington, D.C. if they rented this U-Haul. So one of them rented a U-Haul, pulls up, beep, 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 Christopher! Get in the back of this thing. I'm telling you, we're going to D.C. to be with our dad, right? And you know what Christopher was thinking while this whole thing was unfolding?
Just keep thinking Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump is your daddy.
And with that idea, Christopher had no choice but to get in the back of that U-Haul. Christopher and his friends, ladies and gentlemen, they got in the back of these U-Hauls and they began to head to Washington, D.C. And you see, you know what? You want to know who was in the back of the U-Haul with Christopher, ladies and gentlemen? There they go. The Patriot Front, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, the Oath Keepers. They crammed in the back of these U-Hauls, and as you can see, they're wearing those masks, right? Isn't that funny? The racist mask, right? Those are race masks, right? So these are the same people during the pandemic that you would go into the grocery store and say, hey, you know, they say mask is required. Remember when you was, you know, during the pandemic, they would say the mask is required. They would go in the store like this, right? As soon as they get in the store, they would drop the mask like this. They would drop the mask like this. And you go to the produce section and you would see folks like Christopher there with the snot coming out of their nose, and you go, hey, could you put the mask up a little bit? You know, that snot is dripping out of your nose, and we don't want to get those COVID germs, Christopher. Put that mask over your nose. Sir, I can't breathe when you make me wear that mask. No, I'm not. All over the produce section. They literally were crashing out in these stores behind the mask. I can't breathe if you make me wear the mask. I took them serious. Okay, fine. I got a doctor's note that says I can't breathe with that thing on. But you know what's so funny, Chris? You had no problem putting that mask on when it was time to be racist and getting the back of that U-Haul. See, you see how you catch you Trump supporters lying? That's what happens. MAGA lies always crumble under pressure. They should have all had pew-pews, different outcomes. Oh, that was a test run. Okay, Matt. Well, keep listening, Matt, because remember, Matt, those were hostages, right? So Chris and his friends, they end up getting to Washington, D.C., all right? And they're you know what they like to say, they're wet and ready, right? They're wet and ready for Donald Trump when they get to Washington, D.C. And when they get to Washington, D.C., they receive an update from Lieutenant Marjorie Trader Green, who we all suspect planted those pipe bombs. You all remember this, right? You remember Marjorie Trader Green? And what did Marjorie Trader Green tell Chris and his friends that just got out of that U-Haul? What did she tell them?
Everything. If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building. Finished with our meetings here at the White House.
Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body Marge.
For our January 6th objection, we aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats. President Trump won by a landslide. Call your House reps, call your senators from your states. We've got to make sure they're on board. We already have a lot of people engaged. Okay, stay tuned.
You hear that? Bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body, B6, Marge Trader Green, who we all suspected planted those pipe bombs, is instructing MAGA to attack the Capitol. She says, go in there. Go on into the Capitol building. This is all in the history books. You can go fact check this, MAGA. And so what happened next, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely a moment we all need to make sure we never forget. In the White House, Donald Trump and Mike Pence exchanged pleasantries about the next steps in this attempted coup. Donald Trump goes into the office and says, Pence, everything is in motion. I got the fake elector scheme in motion. Can you say scheme, MAGA? Can MAGA say scheme? Say scheme with Zeus. This is my favorite part of the show when I start talking about January 6th, so you can sing along with Zeus. MAGA, can you say scheme? Hey, Pence, the scheme is in motion. I got the fake elector scheme, and I got my soldiers waiting for me at the ellipse. I just need you to do that thing you and I talked about, Pence. You know, not certifying those votes for Joe Biden. Pence grew a little spine that day, and he said, Mr. President, unfortunately, I can't do that. Because if I were to do that, that means I would be placing you above the United States Constitution, a document that our founding fathers and the framers fought and died for. A document that Americans to this day continue to fight and die for. Democrats paid Pence 7 pieces of silver on January 6th for his soul. Oh, Cindy, I would love to have that conversation, Cindy, but you know what? You don't got enough followers. So he said that's a document that our founding fathers and Americans to this day have fought and bled for. No, Mr. President, I can't place you above the Constitution. So Donald Trump leans in with his breath smelling like cheeseburgers and Coca-Cola. You know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. I'll take care of this myself. And he called him the nasty P word, the same P word that you heard in the Access Hollywood tape. Yeah. He storms out and he goes, security, take me to the ellipse to be with my Confederate soldiers. My supporters. Sir, those folks are armed. They got bear spray. They got demon spray. They got tactical gear. They got military equipment. These are some dangerous people. And Trump says, I don't care. They're not bringing that stuff there to harm me. Take me to be with my troops. And we all saw this play out on national television, right? We all saw it play out on national television. They take him to go meet up with his soldiers at the ellipse. You all remember this? This is a sea of red, white, and blue patriots for Donald Trump. They go to the ellipse, and when Donald Trump gets to the ellipse, he decides to encourage his supporters to engage in heinous acts of violence. Here we go.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Right. These are all
MSNBC News viewer.
These are all Donald Trump supporters, ladies and gentlemen. There's nobody there. This isn't BLM. This isn't Antifa. This isn't the FBI. There's no ghost buses. These are all MAGA. Someone says, you cut off the part where he says peacefully. I didn't cut it off. As a matter of fact, no one heard him say peacefully. If you go interview those Trump supporters, none of them heard him say peacefully. You know what they heard him say, though?
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
You hear that?
So, let's have trial by combat.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's death involved.
So, let's have trial by combat.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Everything.
Okay, these are. They wanted to unalive the vice president of the United States that day, ladies and gentlemen. Fight like hell, trial by combat. That's what's going on in the minds of these supporters as they begin to march towards the United States Capitol with the intent to cause harm to anyone that gets in their way. I'm not lying. And so there was a situation that took place. How many of you remember who Ashley Babbitt was? How many of you remember who Ashley Babbitt was? By a show of hands. Does anyone remember who Ashley Babbitt was? Let's go. Let's see. Let me see. You know, I don't want to. Okay. This is Ashley Babbitt, one of Donald Trump's foot soldiers. She was going to the Capitol, ready to fight like hell, have trial by combat. She was fully radicalized, and she became a weapon for MAGA on January 6th. I actually have some audio about what Ashley Babbitt was saying leading up to her losing her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. Let's listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying.
District. Why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are a complete. I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this Margaret Karen. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the world. If people can't get to work, our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party.
Capitol and a mob. There's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots and Trump.
That's Ashley Babbitt confirming there's a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Trump, calling on all the racial groups, all the racist hate groups. She was calling on all of them to join her at the Capitol to help her do whatever it is she planned to do. She was armed and dangerous that day. Armed and dangerous. And she was radicalized by Donald Trump's big lie. And we all know what happened to Ashley Babbitt, right? Remember this moment? was the moment right before Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield fighting for Donald Trump. She lost her life in the battlefield fighting for Donald Trump. She believed his big lie that the 2020 election was rigged. She believed it. All of that right-wing propaganda that Donald Trump basically fueled. She believed it. She put her soul into it. And she lost her life in the battlefield. And what did Donald Trump do, ladies and gentlemen? What did Donald Trump do? What did Donald Trump do when he found out that Ashley Babbitt lost her life?
Some information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
A non-reaction that one of his soldiers lost their life in the battlefield because of his big lie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the true story about January 6th. This is what we Americans believe and we all witnessed. It was a crime scene that we've never seen in our lifetime. It was a domestic terrorist attack perpetuated by the commander-in-chief at the time, Donald J. Trump, and his supporters. And this is why they get upset when I cover the same thing every day. And every time I cover this, I bring a new person that's been either arrested, sentenced, or convicted. I've been doing this show for 2 years. Every day I have somebody to bring up for MAGA to see this is what really happened on January 6th. And this is someone who's recently been brought to justice. Every day I do this show, I always have someone. And you see them in my chat saying, Zeus, this is old content. Do something new. I would do something new if we quit finding people to actually convict and bring to justice. This isn't old. This is fresh content. To this day, over 700 people have been sentenced, pled guilty. 1,300 have been arrested. It's not over. And even right now, you have Donald Trump still preparing for the next insurrection. Because you know what they say? That was just a trial run. We didn't really get to do what we wanted to do. But this time, we're going to try it a little bit better. So we already know this isn't old content. If you don't like it, leave. So where are we at now? Well, I got another update, ladies and gentlemen. Like I promised you, I have another update from about a seditionist, treasonous traitor who's been brought to justice. If you please could bear with me for just a split second. And then I'm going to open up the boxes. I heard somebody say they want to talk to Zeus about my content. I'll open up the box right after I get done with this, and we can have that conversation. Today's latest update in regards to an insurrectionist, it comes from... I am a gray ghost ranger. Man nicknamed Livewire admits to plotting to interfere with police at the Capitol on January 6th after saying it's time for good men to do bad things. A Kentucky man who went by the online moniker Livewire with alleged links to militia groups has admitted to planning to interfere with officers during the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Dan Edwin Wilson, 48 of Louisville, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer, the Justice Department said in a press release. Wilson also pleaded guilty to federal firearms charges for being in possession of an unregistered firearm. He was among the thousands of Donald Trump supporters who descended on the Capitol building on January 6th as Congress prepared to certify President Joe Biden's 2020 electoral win. Prosecutors say that Wilson started planning in the winter of 2020 to go to the Capitol on January 6th, the day of the certification mandated by the Constitution. Using the encrypted messaging app Telegram, Wilson, who went by the live handle Livewire, responded in a group chat about traveling to Washington, D.C. Oorah! This is what he says. Oorah! He wrote on December 24th, according to federal investigators, followed by a statement signaling an apparent willingness to carry out considerable violence. Curb stomp crew and all. He wanted to curb stomp people that day. He wrote again later that day, hinting at his militia ties, according to federal prosecutors. Quote, "We are willing to work and coordinate with others, but I am a gray ghost ranger." What is he, a Power Ranger? What is a ghost ranger? What? It's morphin' time. What are you? You are a MAGA demon. You're an insurrectionist. You're a treasonous traitor. All right. He wrote apparently referring to his affiliation with the so-called Gray Ghost Militia. Although he later told federal investigators he was not a legitimate member of any militia, according to the criminal complaint. He also apparently considered bringing firearms to the Capitol that day, but decided to hold off, at least for the time being, while also indicating an interest in expanding possible government takeovers. Quote, "In my opinion, I don't think it's time to weapon up for the 6th. We have to play this out. But if they seat Biden on the 20th, all bets are off. It's going to happen. Even if Trump wins, we have to get this government under control. It's been crossing my mind. If we go to a civil war, we do try to take Washington, D.C. first. Or we at least try to take state capitals first." You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is how unhinged these Trump supporters are. They live in conspiracy land. These are QAnon folks amped up on Donald Trump's rhetoric, right? This is what they said after watching Trump's speech at the Ellipse that day, in which the soon-to-be former president implored his supporters to march to the Capitol and fight like hell against the peaceful transition of presidential power. Wilson and his co-defendant did exactly that. Wilson was apparently undeterred by the presence of fencing and barricades as he approached the building. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I am talking about. All right? This is exactly what I am talking about. Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, was arrested on May 25th, 2023, almost a year after the federal search warrant was executed on his home. As court records note, on June 3rd, 2022, law enforcement seized 6 firearms, which were stored in a backpack in a cabinet in his home. Wilson was also prohibited from possessing firearms at the time. Federal law enforcement officers have seized clothing that appeared to match Wilson, the clothing that he wore in the Capitol. Wilson will be sentenced by U.S. District Judge Dabney Frederick, a Trump appointee, on August 22nd. He faces up to 6 years behind bars on conspiracy charges. That's justice. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have another MAGA demon who's been arrested, convicted, and is on their way to being sentenced, first, let's give them some booze and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right. And since he's been sentenced, let's all send him off the old-fashioned way. He wanted to be a soldier for Donald Trump so bad. Let's send this seditionist, treasonous traitor off the old-fashioned way. All right, let's start this off. You know how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly how we do it. This is why I do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, bear with me. Oh yeah. We got a lot of hurt feelings out there this morning. Hold on one split second. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Jesus Christ. We're having a little bit of a technical.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that? You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You hear what he just said? The same knucklehead that lured you to the United States Capitol on January 6th. He says you will pay for your crimes. Wow, wow, wow. You know, and this is why I do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. It's because it's crystal clear to me that Donald Trump supporters, they don't understand how this all continues to happen to them. See, what happened is, Donald Trump lied to every, Luke, knock it off. Donald Trump lied to every single one of you. All right? He did. I was trying to get something else queued up, but I'm having some technical difficulties. All right? He lied to you.
In many ways, I love $29 donors more than I love those big, fat, beautiful $1 million donors. I'm humbly asking for you to chip in the average grassroots donation of just $29. Crooked Joe has raised millions from liberal. I know you heard. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
Well, that was the statement from the president released via Twitter. Congressman Cheney, I think you're still with me. I mean, here you are. You're on lockdown. Was that good enough for you? He's telling folks this was stolen from you. This was awful, but go home now. Do you think that was the kind of statement that will get the job done?
Look, the President of the United States should have, before now, made clear that he wasn't going to countenance any kind of attack or violent activity like this. And, it is good that he's asked people to go home, but what has happened today is unprecedented in American history. And when you have violent mobs storming the floor of the House of Representatives and the floor of the United States Senate, and the President's response is to say that he loves those people, it is absolutely counter to the Constitution and counter to the peaceful transition of power and the values on which this republic was built.
So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have January 6th explained in a way where Donald Trump supporters have no choice but to understand that this is all Donald Trump's fault. Ashley Babbitt, she lost her life because of Donald Trump. And this is why January 6th will definitely go down as one of the darkest days in American history. You know what? You know what's even more interesting, and I always will say this. Donald Trump, if you were to ask me, is running the biggest circus known to mankind, right? He's running the biggest circus. All right, and you can tell because he does exactly what a clown does. Let's take a look at this knucklehead right here, right? A clown, wears orange makeup or wears makeup. What does Donald Trump do? He paints himself orange. I look so good. Clown puts on a wig. What does Donald Trump do? He puts on that bird's nest right there, smack dab, right on the top of his cranium every morning. A clown wears that nice, that weird looking suit with the little thing on its waist. Donald Trump does the same thing. He puts on that diaper of his. He gets it nasty and dirty for you. And then he puts on that same crumpled blue suit with the red tie. He's running a circus, MAGA. When are you going to wake up? And you're all part of his circus. Every day he comes up with a new way to grift you, take your money. He's selling you gold shoes. He's selling you stock. He's selling you Trump bucks. He's selling you college degrees. He's got charities. He's been running a fraudulent business empire for decades. He's sitting in a courtroom asking for money. Oh, we get a little 10-minute break. Let's go out in the hallway and do a little grifting video for our supporters. Hey, I'm in court right now. Yeah, they're taking advantage of me. I just need you to send me some money and y'all do it. You're right. The rest of the world is laughing at you. They're not laughing at Zeus. No, they're laughing at MAGA. You're the most gullible group of peoples ever known. You're so gullible. Even Rudy Giuliani is getting in on it, ladies and gentlemen. I did a video about it. These Trump supporters, they are so gullible. Look at this. Rudy Giuliani is now selling coffee to go along with those gold shoes, MAGA. $30, you can get some nice coffee that'll make you feel and fly through the sky like Rudy Giuliani. Who's he selling it to? He's selling it to MAGA. The ones that are in the circus. That's why there's nothing a Trump supporter can say to me to really change my mood. Because I already know I already know the average Trump supporter, their education level capped at like what, 3rd grade? Greetings, Poker Dad. The average Trump supporters, their education capped at 3rd grade. There's nothing you could say to Zeus to ruin my day. There's really nothing you can say to me because you have no impact on any of the things that I got going on. I'm not sending Donald Trump any money. You are. Nothing makes my day than to know every day I know there's a Trump supporter out there sending their money to Donald Trump, and that money that they're sending him, it's not going to allow them to pay their rent. It's not going to allow them to buy eggs. It's not going to allow them to put gas in their car. Every dollar they send Donald Trump means they suffer more. It makes my day. So that's why I'm doing what I do to help you all go deeper and deeper into that that relationship you are in, all right? Because you know what I say? It's an abusive relationship what's going on with Donald Trump and his supporters, right? It's a nasty, abusive relationship. Both sides need to call it a quit, right? They push him to go far. He pushes them to go far. This is the most toxic and disgusting relationship I've ever had to witness in my lifetime. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, listen, that concludes my monologue. All right. That concludes it. Let's open up those boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. You see, ladies and gentlemen, these Trump supporters, I guarantee you they're triggered, all right? They're very triggered this morning, and they have to be. They have to be because they know what I represent. I represent the truth to these Trump supporters. All right, they know that. They know exactly that. Hold on, let me get my background up, okay? Because see, now we're getting ready to get this show off the ground. All right, they know I represent the truth, and they know. All right, the box has now been officially opened. All right, let's have these conversations, and they know that the end is near for their cult leader. All right, good morning, Attacking. How are you doing, my brother? Good morning, Attacking. How are you doing?
I'm good. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
I'm good. I troll Trump lovers and listen to their broadcasts and stuff like that. Hey, do you remember Your Majesty?
Yes, the one with the tank top.
Yeah, the guy with the tank top.
Yes.
This guy. I came across his broadcast the other day, and he was calling you out.
Oh,
in regards to your broadcast, how you do it, how you got the format, and all of that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of fun.
He's one of my biggest fans. You know, quiet as it is kept Attacking, all these Trump supporters, they come in here and they keep listening to me because they're obsessed with me.
Yeah. By the way, would you mind if I played a video?
Go for it. It's your time.
I won't play the audio because there's the F-bomb in there for you.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just play the video. And I think it's about you and me because it has your name and my world in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so let me do this. So here we are. And I'll put it on the page if you want me to, but I haven't yet. I just made it private. So it starts out, you see Zeus, love, attacking. You see that right there?
Yes, I do see it. Who is this? Who is this character? Oh, Challenger. Oh, so it seems Challenger.
I was sent a message to go look, and so I did. And it's playing right now. It's only a minute. See how I come up in the background with your face?
Yeah, okay.
So he made a video, and the words are "F you da 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 da." You know that song?
Yeah.
And there's the name Challenger 392.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, these guys, they say that they don't want us, you or I, to make videos or
they say attacking. They said they feel threatened by you and I. Right.
Yeah.
That's the narrative they're pushing. I don't even talk to these people.
Yeah.
Why do they feel this way?
Yeah.
I don't talk to them.
Yeah, that's the thing, buddy. It's amazing. It's truly amazing how these guys. I made another video.
They want a date with Zeus.
where I say, listen, you yourself come on a platform that is seen worldwide. So why are you upset if I were to replay your words, seeing how you are saying it for everybody on the planet to see?
Yeah.
So why are you upset if we play the words that come out of your mouth?
Yeah.
You should stand chest forward, and say, I own what I say.
Right.
Why are you afraid?
Why? Well, attacking. Let's be honest. They're
Yes,
afraid. They're afraid because of what you and I, what we represent. Right, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They know that their cult leader is in a lot of deep trouble. Right.
Yeah.
How do you think that's sitting with these folks, knowing every day they wake up, they're closer and closer to losing that relationship with Donald Trump?
Yeah, that's true too. I hate to say this. I'm watching the news with Michael Cohen being questioned again. I hate to say it. I think Michael Cohen's bullshit. Excuse me. Might tank the case, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know to what degree, but has the prosecution began redirect?
Yeah, they have, and they're asking him things. I mean, his communications after being out and being on air and so on and so forth. I think that's kind of dragged down some strength to the case. And
did you hear the first part of my show where I told you what happened with ChatGPT? Did you hear that part?
No.
Well, they put over 4,000 documents of transcripts through ChatGPT, and they're basically saying the first 3 days of the case proved that the prosecution had the evidence. Michael Cohen's, while he is a critical piece, all he is really doing is connecting the evidence that was presented in the first 3 days of trial.
Yeah.
And I believe that personally, we all knew Michael Cohen was a liar or had a history of lying. All right, yeah. But nothing can explain why Donald Trump was making those payments.
No, it doesn't. I mean, because it's all written out and stuff like that. But they're trying to dirty him to make Trump look good.
Right.
And, if the lawyers that are in there, the two lawyers say, listen, while it doesn't look good for what Michael Cohen did, this is a document case. Donald Trump lied about the documents, the process, and this is where it's at.
Right.
And that's what the prosecutors, when they redirect after they end up with the defense doing their thing, when they do it again, they need to clarify that. And then when they do their summations, the closing summations, they need to point that out, that this is a document case. This has nothing to do with Michael Cohen being a liar or anybody else. This is documented. This is the process, and it went from a misdemeanor to a felony because they committed a crime and then they committed another crime by trying to cover it up.
Yeah,
that's all it is. All right, I'm gonna drop. Everybody be good. Everybody be safe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Attacking. I mean, and this is why doing this show is critical because attacking he's definitely he does not like Trump, and it does say something when he says hey, there's an issue with Michael Cohen, and I think we need to actually be able to actually have those conversations as well. And so with that being said, I'm still I understand a little bit in terms of what it actually would take. This is my thought process, right? You still have to explain why the president of the United States was keeping these kind of people around, right? Why would you be keeping a person like Cohen around? Why would you be around a person like Stormy Daniels? And what does that say about Donald Trump? Is Donald Trump going to take the stand? I don't think Donald Trump is going to take the stand. And despite the fact that they're trying to make it about Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels, that's not what the case is about. The case is truly about, did Donald Trump falsify those business records? And I'm of the mindset that if I were paying hush money to anybody, you would have to see a direct transaction that says in my bank account, right? Whatever it is, payment, settlement. It should say settlement, and you should see that transaction posted somewhere on a ledger that I own. But we don't see that statement anywhere in Donald Trump's world. It should say settlement, right? There's nothing that says settlement on Donald Trump's books. What you see is a payment going to Michael Cohen. Now that right there, you mix that, with all of Donald Trump's employees coming in saying, yeah, he was worried about the election. That's why he was in in panic mode during this time. He was worried about the election. Well, okay, well, what is a jury likely to believe? Are they likely to believe that he falsified those business records to hide it from Melania, or do you think he falsified those business records to hide it from the American people? And has the prosecution showed that? I would say, in my opinion, they have. But Michael Cohen does play a critical role, but I don't think he is the main person. Or if it was just Cohen and Donald Trump word for word, we would have a problem. But it's not just that. So let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. All right. Good morning, Maureen. How are you doing? Good morning, Maureen. How are you doing?
I am good. It took me a minute. So I
Hey.
want to go back. I don't think you were on Angela's Live and we were talking. You've been talking about the masks and how they don't like to wear them.
Yeah.
So when we were thick in the mask, my son was wearing a mask. He's 6 foot. He was at the grocery store, and this guy was and his girl or whatever she was.
Yeah.
He followed him through the grocery store, through the checkout, and to his car.
What?
So he had enough.
Wow.
He just turned around and decked him. He's not a violent person by any stretch.
Your son decked him?
Yep. So I said, son, you can't do that. I don't know if these people have a firearm on them.
Yeah.
So I called my attorney friend. I said, I'm going to need your pen. She said,
yeah.
All right. And then she said, tell Tony I'm proud of him. All right.
Wow.
Yep. And then the both sides of the same argument. I am so tired of that. My girlfriend, nurse friend I've had for 20 years, she's been told to go back to the country, go back to Africa several times. She can no longer shop in person at the grocery store because these fools.
Because of MAGA.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, they have no problem being openly racist. That's why they want Donald Trump back in the White House.
Yes, go ahead. The little ladies, I'm about tired of them. I'm actually one, but still, they won't walk down. She's the kindest woman I've ever been friends with.
Who?
Stuck by my side through all my health issues.
Oh, okay.
They won't walk down a grocery store aisle with her. So I'm like, okay, just take me with you. I'll be the token and knock them out, and we'll just beat them up in the aisle. I don't care.
What?
Well, they're mean.
They're angry. They're mean. They're nasty and evil people. I agree with you. All right, but I get a little worried when people wants to take action like that. All right.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Say I can't fight my way out of a wet paper bag.
Yes, but I understand the anger and the frustration. I honestly do, because these people with that kind of a personality, it's almost one of those things where you realize they don't even love themselves, right? They don't even love themselves.
On Angie's live this morning, some guy came up cussing at her, called her.
Maureen, I've lost you. I've lost you, Maureen. Are you there?
No, I'm back.
Okay, all right, I lost you.
Yeah, I'm back.
You said they came up into Angie's live.
And called her a lot of bad names and old and ugly, and I mean, really, both sides are not the same.
I completely agree.
And don't come at Wakanda. They come at Vegas girl. They come at everybody.
Well, and this is why you got to understand. These are people who don't necessarily have a high self-esteem. They don't care too much about themselves, and they're looking for love in all of the wrong places, if you ask me. But this is MAGA, a bunch of evil individuals. They're not Christians. They're hypocrites. They're not patriots. They're traitors, and it's written all over them. If you look at them. He's not sending their best and their brightest on the TikTok. That's for sure. Yeah.
So I have some song ideas for Lex or Takesha. Wait a minute. What was that song?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
well, listen. Someone asked me, how the F do I know how millions of you feel? Kid Rocket, I know how millions of you feel because I can see it written all over your face. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
You turned in your white hood for a red hat. How about that?
Yeah. I don't need MAGA to actually express and say it because they can't speak that well, number one. But you can see all of the anger and the frustration and the racism and the bigotry. You can see it all over your face.
First of all, he's kid. I'm 56 and I've lived through a lot. So I know you're not, you are not educated for one thing. You don't have a life experience other than what, 12 minutes.
Tell him.
What else? And you insult, you say, well, I don't understand, teach me. And then you come up and insult every intelligent person on the panel. And then you call us libtards. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, listen, Maureen, I got to move it on. All right, my friend.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Maureen. No lies detected. Yeah. Where's that knucklehead Kevin at? The one that was in here and talking sideways. I wanna unpack how Kevin felt so comfortable to be racist today. As a matter of fact, it's not just Kevin, it's a lot of them out there. MAGA, why do you all of a sudden now want to reveal that you're racist to Zeus? All right. I mean, we've known it's been there, but it's something that happened that just really got it coming out today. What is it, if you don't mind telling? What happened? Matt, what happened? Did I miss something? Was there a rally or something that you had that, something was said and they said, you know what? Let it all out now. We can't hide it. It's just time to be nasty and evil today. Yeah. They won't come in the box today. They're just hiding in the chat like a bunch of kids. I don't know why. All right. Good morning, Stick the Ruler. How are you doing? He went to a Kid Rock concert. Good morning, Stick. How are you doing, my brother?
Good morning. How are you, Zeus?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
Yeah, I just was thinking about the past. In the 80s, they came up with an organization called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. Right?
I remember that. Yep.
So it was 2 Ds. Well, at this point in time, MAGA is just MAD. They're mad on all sorts of different scales,
But I thought they were winning. Didn't they say they're winning?
Oh man, they're losing so bad. You know what I mean? They're like Nutty in the morning when somebody calls you handsome.
Yeah, okay? Salty.
They're and Nutty, that's not a dig against you. I'm just making an example.
But he does need to stay in his place. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, so it's one thing to be just mad at something, but they're outrageously mad at everything.
Yep.
Whether it's somebody coming across the border, whether it's somebody's ethnic background,
Yep.
Ramaswamy has been told by a MAGA demon that she wouldn't vote for him because he's Indian. So I mean, this is the stuff that we have going on here in America with MAGA.
Yep.
And so if you're listening, MAGA, don't be MAD, MAGA against democracy. Be
I like
try to
that.
be like the try to be MAGA for Americans or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But you guys are just off the rails with all the things that you got going on. You got a president.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. You got a president that's asking you which one would you like, the white or the black president? And that's on TV
Right.
right now, circulating on YouTube. I have also a video of him in front of UN
Yeah.
saying that did the best and the brightest, and he's done the most for the U.S. And they laughed at him, the UN.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day, this is where we're at. This is what they got going on. This is what they're doing, and this is reality.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can tell you.
You're right.
This is
You're right.
reality.
You're right. And you know what? And unfortunately, actually, it's a good thing. Reality scares them, doesn't it?
I mean, it scares them to the point where they're just like making up stuff.
Yep.
There's gonna be a president's nephew that's gonna come back, or a president's son that's gonna come back and lead us to the promised land. And it's just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where it's so ridiculous that we shouldn't be laughing, but we laugh because we try not to offend them. We try not to tell them in their face how ridiculous they are,
Right.
because it does nothing but make more insults pour out of their mouth.
Yeah.
So Sister Crockett, she stood her ground. I'm glad for her.
Yeah.
And I just hope that they learned their lesson when hit dogs holler. Let's just say it that way.
Amen. I
And
completely
and,
agree.
and definitely Marjorie Trader Green showed you the dog in her.
Yeah.
I'll land my plane.
All right.
I hope
all
you have a
right.
good day in the kingdom.
I will. I will and I shall, brother. All right. And as always, it's a good thing to hear from you. All right.
Yes, sir. Have
All
a good
right.
one.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Stick the Ruler. No lies detected. Jasmine Crockett. Thank you so much for the subscription. Listen, Your Majesty. You know what? Here's the thing, Your Majesty. You've failed to actually present a coherent argument to support and justify what you believe in. I talked to you already, and as soon as I started actually kicking facts around, and I didn't engage with you in any of your little emotional nonsense, I stuck to the facts. You know what you did? Go back and look at the tape. You put your hand on your chin, you're like a little kid, like a little petulant child. Your Majesty, here's the thing: you don't know anything. You're wrong, right? You can do as many lives about Zeus. You know what? Why not just have Zeus come to the live and be a man and talk to Zeus directly? Because those people that you were talking to, I don't know who they are. They can't tell you what Zeus thinks and feels. You got to talk to Zeus. But the fact that you won't come to me to get the information and you rely on your little, I don't know who those people are. It just proves to me that the real person running the circus isn't Zeus, it's you. Or maybe Your Majesty, maybe you want to be Zeus. Is that what it is? maybe you want to be me. All right, listen. Okay, I get it. Imitation is a form of flattery. All right, maybe that's what's going on. A lot of these Trump supporters, they're so jealous of Zeus. They go out and they try to start their own lives, and they're like, nothing's working. Look at me. I got my tank top on. I'm definitely more built than Zeus. I mean, they're trying to look sexy, right? What if I'm doing the same thing Zeus is doing, and my poll numbers are tanking? Yeah, you're not doing what I'm doing. You're not doing what I'm doing, Your Majesty. You're you're out here embarrassing yourself. If I were you, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you go, because you turn on the camera and it says go live and it's 3, 2, 1, action. I don't know how you, when it goes action and you see yourself, you don't go, oh, maybe I need to go put some clothes on. Because I'm not looking that good. I don't know why you think you look good, champ. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. Let's go. Oh, my good friend Val. I know you've been sending a couple of guest requests. Good morning. Good morning, Val. How are you doing?
How's it going in the kingdom, Zeus? It's been a minute.
I know. I've been meaning to get to you. All right, I've seen you a couple of days, and I'm like, I gotta get to him.
It's all good. You're a busy man. I get it. The kingdom's busy. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, how are you doing?
We're doing good, sir. Doing good.
Yes. All right. Well, that's good to hear. So, what do you got for us this bright and early, if you don't mind?
Bright and early. So I don't know if I'm that early, but we'll go.
Yes.
We'll go with this. It is absolutely funny to me how all the MAGA demons can come up here, spit non-facts, and then sit here and not realize and look at what's going on around them. I mean, we have MAGA demons now switching sides. I don't even know what to think anymore.
You saw that, right? With Jeff, right?
Saw it and lived it.
Yeah. And the points he was making, to me, these are points that I'm thinking like, who told him this, right? But it made sense. So I was like, well, that's interesting.
We've been telling him this for 3 years. He's just now listening. I think we're not sure.
and that is possibly another reason why they're so upset on TikTok right now, is because they see that we're having a positive impact.
Right, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it all over. I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the live, and we're talking about how the MAGA demons are starting to realize that they don't have any major creators following them or helping them. They wonder why. Because you're on the wrong side of history. You keep living on the wrong side of history, and you're not going to make friends. This is a real issue.
Yep.
And love the kingdom, Zeus. Love everything that you're doing right now. To keep spreading the message. Everybody down below. And everybody that gets up here and talks to all of us on a daily basis, thank you for what you do. That's what I want to come up and say today. Thank you for what you do and helping for what we're trying to create.
Amen.
In this country.
Well, thank you, Val. That's nice and positive, and that's what we need more of in this country. Seriously.
And get back to it, Zeus. I'm gonna drop and watch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Val. No lies detected. I mean, this is what we're talking about. People like to say that we're spreading hate. No, we're not. We're spreading a lot of love. We're spreading a lot of awareness. Yes, Jeff, many of you know who he is, HVAC. I sat there with this guy for 4 hours. Hardcore Trump supporter for at least as long as I've known him. And I go into his live, and, I'm thinking he's playing a prank. And you know what? Time will tell. But I said, well, why now? Are you all of a sudden saying you don't want to be? I don't think he's fully democratic, but I think he's came to the awareness that it was time to get out of the cult. I said, why get out of the cult? He gave me a couple of reasons, but the reason that I think stood out the most is when he said that the way that Donald Trump is treating Michael Cohen. I said, well, what does that mean? He says, this is somebody, I'm paraphrasing. This is somebody that worshiped Donald Trump at one point in their life. Michael Cohen worshiped Donald Trump. He smelled that diaper. He did everything Donald Trump told him to do. He believed in Donald Trump more than any Trump supporter on this app could ever believe in Donald Trump. Michael Cohen did. And when Michael Cohen decided, I can't do it anymore, I just couldn't do it, he's been suffering ever since. Michael Cohen has been suffering. And, it's self-inflicted. I get that. But he said the way Donald Trump right now is treating Michael Cohen, it sent him a message. And I think that's a good thing for you Trump supporters to actually start to think about. If Donald Trump would do that to Michael Cohen, someone that worshiped him, what would Donald Trump do to you? That's the question. Now, HVAC, does he have a lot of work or a lot of work to do and actually to earn the trust of a lot of people? Absolutely. But I think that's a valid point. If Donald Trump would try his best to destroy Michael Cohen, someone that worshiped him, what do you think he would do to you as his supporters? I mean, if you really go to a room and think to yourself about it, you probably start to say, I probably would be acting like Michael Cohen. I would be acting like Michael Cohen to a certain degree because this is a guy I took out a home equity line of credit for. I would never take a home equity line of credit out for anyone. I wouldn't do it. But the fact that Donald Trump got Michael Cohen to go that far, hid it from his wife, it just shows you Michael Cohen was definitely he was fully indoctrinated, ladies and gentlemen. Fully indoctrinated. You cannot make this stuff up. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. I'm so sorry, but it's definitely something I've been thinking about. What would Donald Trump, if he did that to Cohen, what would he do to you? Good morning, Shay.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs.
Yes. You definitely been attending to the affairs this morning, I tell you.
Oh yeah.
Interesting characters, I tell you. So, little tiny tank top came up and talked to you?
No, not.
Oh, he
your,
didn't?
No. If he wants to, Your Majesty, go ahead and send Zeus a request. You can come on up here. I definitely don't mind giving you another dose of the truth.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God. So that's interesting because I know Tom. He, has been a huge Trump supporter, and now he's not supporting him. But yet, we're the ones that have all the information wrong.
Wait a minute. He's not supporting Trump?
Well, he claims to not be supporting Trump, right? That's what he claims, right? Right. So, what I would be questioning Tom, because I've seen many of his ridiculous MAGA lives in the past. And he always wears a tiny tank top, just FYI. Now supposedly he doesn't support him. So I'm sorry, Tom, we never supported that man. So who's wrong?
Oh my God.
Who's been right all this time? I mean, here's what's funny to me. When we watch these MAGAs supposedly flip and say, well, I'm not supporting Trump anymore, but yet come on our lives and tell us that we're always wrong. That's kind of funny to me, right?
Yep.
I never voted for the man, never supported the man, so maybe we were always right about the man.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Tell him, Shay.
Like, I laugh.
Wow.
I laugh so hard at this when they tell me, well, you're always, no, we're not. And the thing with Michael Cohen, the man worked for Trump for 10 years. So if now you're throwing Michael Cohen under the bus as a liar, as a cheater, yeah, we know. He worked for Trump. You have to be a liar and a cheater and a scumbag to work for Trump. I mean, this, line it all up and just sit here and go, it's kind of weird, right? Where every single person that ever worked for Trump is now a liar and a scumbag. It's kind of interesting. If you put it's kind of like you ever do those little puzzles in those coloring books where you connect the dots.
Yeah.
You know how that is,
Yeah.
You guys are like, I go from 1 to 32 because that's what I want to do. I can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. That just takes too much time for me.
Bingo.
I want to go directly over here to 32 because I want to get that part of the body done, or I want to get that part of the flower done. I don't like taking all this time.
Yeah.
That's what Trump supporters are to me.
Yep.
It's like, I'm not going to do the way you tell me to do it because I got my own way of doing things, It's just like, it is so ridiculous. We have connected the dots about Donald Trump before he ran. If you didn't know if you really thought Donald Trump was the guy that he features himself on The Apprentice, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Everybody knows this. And here's the deal. All these people he's, an innocent guy. He's never had convictions. There's lists out there of every single civil court case he has lost. he has paid hundreds of millions of dollars in fines because he has lost so many cases, and it's always over fraud.
Yep.
Always over fraud or going against the law. There's several of them. Several of them. So I sit here and go, there's no convictions. Really? It's really interesting. So keep throwing Michael Cohen under the bus and Stormy Daniels and all these people, but stop ignoring the fact that Donald Trump is the common denominator amongst all of it.
Yep.
So therefore, he's not this innocent guy, poor Trump. So he's either innocent or he's an idiot and doesn't know how to pick people around him. So which one is it?
Which one is it, MAGA?
Because if he's an idiot and he can't pick the right people around him, then why do you want him back in the office again? I mean, it goes to show you don't care what the president of the United States office is. You do not care what it is. It suits a narrative for you. It suits what you want to do to this country. It made you feel better having that man in office because you like people like him.
Yeah.
I feel better. I don't like a guy that's just kind of quiet, going about, just kicking ass and doing things and changing the economy and fixing things. And by the way, I'll end on this. Joe Biden has asked the Senate to go ahead and re-vote on the border package as a standalone bill. We got the aid to Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan that we needed. So let's take all that out. Let's repass. So the Senate's going to vote on this week. So then let's see if Mike Johnson, little old MAGA Mike, right? Even though y'all think he's a Democrat now, so funny. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he picks it up for a vote in the House to fix the border. Let's watch it all. Okay, everybody, love you in the kingdom. That's all.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay.
By the way, just real quick, everybody's been checking on me. I love you so much. Got my power back at 8 o'clock on Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
48 hours without power, but we're doing okay. Lost my back fence, so I got a huge backyard, so both sides of the fence are down, but whatever. It's good. My house is good, so everything's okay. Anyway, love y'all, everyone, for checking on me. You're so sweet.
All right, good. Those tornadoes are something else out there.
I went through my backyard, Zeus.
I know, that is crazy. That is so crazy. I mean,
I was like, did you see it? I'm like, no, my ass was in the closet. What's wrong with you? I didn't
did it really sound like a freight train?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
like a loud whistle wind. It's crazy.
That is terrifying. I would be freaking out. I am so glad that you are.
It was nuts.
Okay.
And we got no, like, hardly any warning. We thought it was going to rain. I literally had a rosé event. And we're like, oh, we'll see if we get some people. It's supposed to rain tonight.
Oh.
Holy heck. Like, it was so fast. It went through in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah,
I am so
nuts.
glad that you are
nuts.
alive and safe and nothing, not a hair on your head was harmed. I am so glad.
Thank you. You know, my hair's a little messy, but it's all good.
All right.
Hey, windblown look is sexy, right? That's what they say, right?
It really is. All right. It really is.
So I love you. All right.
All right. Love you
All
too.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. All right, let's move it along. Oh my goodness, my beautiful partner in crime, Miss Boss Diva. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Zeus.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. Glad you're doing okay, Shay. I'm glad that passed you right on by in your backyard and not through your house. So
yeah,
but very, very happy to know you're okay.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
All righty then. All righty.
Does it sound like I'm not, or
hey, I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
Want to make sure it's still sounding great,
Yes.
So you know that Trump did a Mitch the Glitch move, right?
Yes, I see.
Glitched up.
Yeah.
And
What
we
do you
can
think
only
about
imagine
that?
what was taking place with those 2 minutes that went by, right?
I hear that he soiled his diaper. He soiled that diaper.
I think he crapped all over himself, created his own chocolate covered nuts, but that's a different, story. But he did actually tweet. I mean, what does he do? Social, I guess.
He posts lies.
Social. Yeah. So, of course he blamed it on Biden. He said the Biden campaign. that
Oh,
story out.
you see how he likes to flip it up and try to switch it and make it seem like it's something it's not. Seriously?
Absolutely. It's so funny to me. That's why I wanted to bring it up because he know damn well he glitched up. Like
Yeah.
he know he did. I mean,
Yeah. I think honestly, you know that feeling that you get in your stomach when you were a kid and you used to get in trouble. Remember that feeling?
absolutely. You know what I mean? What was a butterfly? Them scary butterflies.
Yeah. They said something flashed across his head. You know you're gonna get convicted, right? That's gonna happen. And he said,
I mean, he even lied about the length of time. He talking about 30 seconds. No, dude. That was like more like 120.
Yeah.
Maybe even 180.
Yeah.
It seemed like time stopped. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, just really, really. So, Marco Rubio, he doesn't, he's not going to, claim a free and fair election. Like,
he said he's not gonna accept the outcome either, right?
He said, nah, he ain't gonna.
Again,
So,
they're literally redoing what they did in 2020, just making some tweaks to it to make sure they can get a little further.
Exactly, bro. And that's why I'm like, okay, so you guys are really trying to do a repeat, but you fail to understand that in order to do that, you really would need the military to back you.
Yeah.
You really do. And you don't.
Yeah.
So that puts you in a very precarious pickle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys do not understand how this thing works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
delusional.
but they're making it a more deliberate attempt to get more senators and members of Congress involved in the scheme. It's always a scheme with MAGA.
Right. They always have to scheme on something because, they have no other ethics, they have no moral ethics to determine another more positive and, beneficial outcome for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I just want to say that, or before I go, because I heard my bell, but I just wanted to say that, the Trump team at the trial, keeping Michael Cohen on the stand too long is definitely going to do them some absolute harm.
Yeah.
They are going to lose the case anyway.
You're on that side with this. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they got him on. I mean, what more can they refute? They cannot refute anything. We already know that he's a liar. They already know everything about all that. Everything, the cards have been placed on the table. What you need to do is move on and get to your side. How many do you know how many witnesses that they're going to call on the defense side?
Is Trump going up?
I mean, other than that, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because the jury is going to get that case, MAGA. And when they get that case in their hands, MAGA, it's over, man.
Let's go.
It really is.
It really is, MAGA.
It's over. I'm telling you. And the next stop, conviction.
Bingo.
Okay, after that, sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
Be there, be square. We'll be wild.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm out.
All right. I love it. No lies detected. MAGA sheep. Miss Boss Diva's not lying. This is why I understand why you're all, upset and angry and outraged today. Good morning, G-Man. I understand why a lot of you Trump supporters are in your feelings right now. You're in your feels. It's because there's no other way to explain this other than guilty. Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we have next? Oh my goodness. Yes, let's go vote for Biden. Good morning. How are you?
Hey Zeus, how's it going, man?
I'm all right. What about you?
Oh man, I'm just happy to be unbanned.
Oh, this is your account. You got it back.
I got it back. Last time I was up here, I was sharing a story about a profile picture I seen in one of these mega demon dens.
Oh.
They like to hide out here on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I seen one of them had a profile picture that appeared to depict members of a certain hate group.
Oh.
With in the legs of the Republican elephant. And TikTok
Wow.
didn't like that picture, I guess.
Oh, with the elephant thing, I
Yeah.
remember. Oh wow, oh my God. Well then, yeah, don't show it. All right, have a good one, CZ.
No. But it's funny though, because they're still out here, spreading these lies with the same profile picture,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's crazy.
So
But
they can do
anyway,
it, but so what you're saying is they're getting a pass to do it.
I guess, yeah, I don't know what the
Wow.
deal is. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Anyway,
glad you're back.
yeah, me too, man. Thanks for having me up. I just
Yeah.
wanted to say one or two things. So, these mega demons, they'll twist themselves into a pretzel to try to explain away just the most craziest nonsense, right?
Right.
But so I found that there's a couple points that are especially difficult for them to explain. And one is the dereliction of duty that took place on January 6th. While the Capitol was being attacked, the commander-in-chief sat around twiddling his thumbs for hours.
187 minutes.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that's a tough one. That really makes him do the mental gymnastics,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. They have no explanation for why Donald Trump didn't do anything while the United States Capitol was being attacked by his supporters. None.
Well, I've heard all types of crazy stuff. What did they say? They said, well, what could he couldn't do anything. What could he have done? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? How about anything?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then the other one that really gets them twisting themselves into knots is because to vote for Trump, you got to believe he's innocent, right?
Yeah.
Of the many criminal charges that he's facing.
Yeah.
And so to believe that, you got to believe that the powers that be are terrified of this man, so much so that they're abusing the Department of Justice like never before to stop him because he's such a grave threat. Well, my question to them is, what did he do in the 4 years that he was in the White House that would be so scary that the swamp would have to go to these great lengths to stop him? I didn't see none of that. I didn't see any swamp draining. I didn't see any, I didn't see anything, man. He was a mediocre president, if you ask me. I could see maybe it was George Washington or something, but I don't know. He didn't seem all that great to me.
He didn't.
So it's just weird,
He didn't do anything to help America while he was in office. He did absolutely nothing. He's the worst president we've ever seen in our lifetime. I promise you that.
Crazy. Anyway, keep doing what you do, man. Big
All
fan.
right. All right,
man.
you too. Thank you. I'm glad you got your account back. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Vote for Biden a round of applause. No lies detected. A lazy president. Yeah. I mean, this thing that MAGA is trying to sell America, no one's buying it. We all see Trump for what he is. If he would have done his job, all right, he probably wouldn't be in trouble. But this is what happens when you have to scheme and plot in order to try to win. It all comes crashing down. They like to say, well, I had more money when Trump was in office. I started to think about that. Well, okay, the first 2 years, that's pretty much Obama, right? So you should be thanking Obama for all that money you had while Trump was in office. Right? I mean, that's what and then look at that. Look at what's happening now. By the time Trump leaves, the economy is on its knees. 20 million people out of their job. You heard Steve Mnuchin talking about it. The economy was going to tank during Donald Trump's last 2 years because of COVID. So when you had more money, you got to give Obama and the Democrats the credit. I don't want to hear it, MAGA. You're all a bunch of liars. You're all a bunch of... No, Mike, this isn't a paid liberal page. Mike sent you an invite. Mike, come on up here and tell me why you think this is a paid liberal page. Seriously, you got any proof? Do you have any dirt on Joe Biden, Mike? Do you have anything to actually back up what you're saying? See, Mike, you're like all the other Trump supporters that I've talked to before you. You're just in my chat section trying to poison it. Okay, and it's not going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Mike what he deserves. All right, thank you, Miss Boss Diva. Join me in giving Mike what he deserves. A round of booze and shame. Goodbye, Mike. Mike, you're a liar. Mike, you are a liar and a traitor. Good morning. Who do we have here? Common sense. There's an echo.
Whoa, sorry about that.
All right. Can you hear me? All right. Let's see if that works. No,
Do I have a really bad echo? I apologize.
Yeah. Send another guest request. Come on back up. Hold on. Maybe it'll work if you come back up. Maybe it won't. But yeah. No, Your Majesty. Let me be honest with you, Your Majesty. You are paid by the RNC. How about that? Yeah, you're a Trump supporter in disguise. Oh well, you're not really in disguise. Your disguise is terrible. But you're an influencer for MAGA, and we got the proof. All right, just look at that nasty tank top you've been wearing. All right, Common Sense. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. How about yourselves?
I'm all right. This is our first time doing business, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Watched many of your lives, and I think you do a good job.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get to the questions. First question, and then you'll go get your 3 minutes. First question: do you believe the 2020 election was rigged?
Hell no.
All right, you passed. Thank you for bearing with me, but I do this to everybody that I had never spoken with. All right. Second question: who would you say is responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th?
Trump all the way.
Last question: do you believe President Joe Biden is guilty of any crimes?
No.
Let's go. All right, you got 3 minutes. What do you got for us, champ? And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I give you a follow. That way, you know. Oh, well, your account's private, but okay. What do you got for us?
A lot of my friends always want to attack me because I'm a businessman and say, oh, you don't support Trump because he's a businessman. But, you know, the way I look at it, I mean, even Mike Pence, if he hired him as his vice president to take over the United States if something happened to Trump, and he's such a great decision maker, and he can't even have the support of his own vice president from the last administration, and he's really not that great of a businessman. I mean, if you look at the country like a business, and Trump always wanted to downplay the virus because it wasn't good for the economy, and when you have a guy that literally is watching the cameras while you're going to change out his job because your company is based on voting somebody into their position, and you have some people in your company breaking your windows and destroying your stuff, and you have this guy, and you could claim that that's a good business decision, and then you fire him, and then he tries to reapply for that job. No way. No way he's a good businessman.
Yeah. It speaks volumes that Pence doesn't even want to endorse him. It speaks volumes that Nikki Haley won't even endorse him.
They have to come up with terms like rhinos to attack their own kind. How do you, if you're going after women's rights and if you're attacking your own Republican Party by calling them rhinos, how do you win elections that way? Anybody that supports Mike Pence is no longer going to vote for Trump if they lean towards Mike Pence. Anybody who supports like any Republican that's gone against him, what's Liz Cheney? I mean, all these people are going to turn their votes against him every time. And people like me who fell for the rhetoric. I didn't vote for him in 2016, but he said he was going to lock Hillary up. So I was just like, well, if the guy's saying she's a criminal, I'll just vote third party, just watch him lock her up. And he never did. So he's just a BS talker. And all he's doing is, if the economy's so bad, how come he's taking all this money from you with shoes and hats and all this stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah. These are good questions. These are good questions.
Under Obama, I got a tax break for buying a house. And then 12 years later, 13 years later, under Biden, my house, that same house tripled in price. So I don't understand people can complain about a bad economy sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't either. I mean, I just think that they are believing everything Donald Trump says, right? The stock market goes up. He says it's up because his poll numbers are up. This is how their minds work.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. It was nice meeting you.
All right.
Not the best speaker, but I like getting up here and at least tackling those fears I have and educating myself, being to more of a personal speaker up in front of people, so it helps.
All right. Well, you did good, and I do hope you continue to speak the truth. All right, and continue to apply pressure where needed. All right, common sense. I appreciate
You
you,
have a
my
good
good
one.
friend.
Appreciate your lives.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to common sense. I still haven't seen a Trump supporter come up here and defend the indefensible. I've seen them come up here and double down on disgusting and negative behavior, but no Trump supporter actually can come up here and defend the indefensible. And I wonder why that is. It's because deep down in their heart, they know it. All right. Hello, Layla. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am all right. All right. How are
Yeah.
you?
Let's get it. So there, like, of course, I would never want Trump to be reelected, but MAGA knows presence matters. MAGA knows the loudest voice in the room will get heard. And
Okay.
unfortunately, I saw this on a Sunday morning show. Unfortunately, there aren't enough, what do you call them, people, surrogates for Biden or Biden using the pulpit. Yes, going out on the campaign trail is amazing, but he needs to be putting more pressure on the news the way Trump does. Trump is on like every news channel. I want to hear about the infrastructure bill. I want to hear about how McConnell went back to Kentucky and was like, I'm bringing hundreds of millions of dollars to build new bridges and roads that all came from the Biden infrastructure bill. Or
Right.
how 40 million went to South of Miami with Marco Rubio, and that was from the CHIPS Act.
Yep. Where did you go? Did you get a call, Layla?
So
Okay. Are you there?
yeah, sorry, I did. Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got a phone call. I apologize. But they are using the Sunday morning talk shows. They are saying how they bringing in, meaning MAGA, Rhino, Republic, whoever, that, they are bringing in this money to South Florida or into Kentucky. And I believe it needs to be Biden. It needs to be Kamala Harris instead of sitting on a couch with Drew Barrymore getting a hug. Like we need to hear it and see it and have exposés and have commercials and things like that. They knew what they were doing when they flew up to New York here, and they knew how much taxpayers' dollars was wasted. We had to pay for more security for them for those butt munchers. We had to pay for more NYPD for those butt munchers. It was absolutely insane, and yet they missed a vote about Homeland Security, which is supposed to be their highest priority. What has the GOP done for you lately? Nothing.
No.
And for Mitt Romney to actually say, well, Biden should have pardoned Trump. First, I thought you needed to be convicted to get a pardon. But Mitt Romney, like, he's truly an a-hole. Like,
Yep.
Take your retirement money and go.
Get on out of here.
Get on out of here. And I just really hope that Michael Cohen did not do as much damage as they're reporting. Like they're saying he did not take any responsibility for any of the crimes that he committed. And it was always everyone else's fault, his father, his family, his company, his business, the accountant. And I think that may have played into, his the jury's ideology, like, oh, we got to give him a fair trial, which they should. But I don't know how impactful Michael Cohen was as a witness. And what concerns me about Stormy Daniels is Weinstein was able to appeal because of the same kind of bringing in witnesses that were unnecessary. And I truly hope that they stick to the facts and we get Trump out of here.
Let's go. You're right. I do too. Well, listen, Layla, all right. I appreciate that, all right. And I look forward to hearing more from you, all right? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right.
Have a good morning.
All right, good morning. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Layla. No lies detected. No lies detected. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, unfortunately, I didn't realize it, but Zeus does need to get up out of here, all right? The plane has officially landed. You all deserve a round of applause. Great show. But as I land my plane, I'm going to once again speak to it. So earlier in the show, we had a Trump supporter get up here and drop the N-word because I guess they went to a Kid Rock concert this weekend. And that doesn't sit too well with Zeus because as much as I would like to go down that path and say, we as a country we've came so far, it's a reminder of how much further we still need to go. Donald Trump and his supporters, ladies and gentlemen, are hell bent on taking this country backwards. All right, thank you, Mountain Negro. These people are hell bent on taking the country backwards. What did Joe Biden say, ladies and gentlemen? Here he goes. Let me make sure you understand why voting for Joe Biden is necessary. He says,
MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards.
And what that means is the age-old battle over the right to be good. All right, brother Swerve. The battle of slavery, right? Should states be allowed to still, be slave states, or do we abolish it, right? That's an issue that still bothers a lot of these folks, all right? They're mad they lost the Civil War. They're mad Americans decided we don't want slavery in this country. And so what they want to do is do whatever they can to go back in time. And unfortunately, we aren't going to let them, all right? I think it's clear the majority of Americans, we said we rather go forward and evolve and not devolve, all right? And so with that being said, I will say this, Trump supporters, whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is going to be held accountable for his dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and his crimes. And if that means you no longer will be able to have access to him, so be it. I have no problem giving you Trump supporters what you deserve, which is, you know what? The ultimate MAGA reward. What is the ultimate MAGA reward? Jail, and if you don't get your soul right, hell, with a chapter 11 in between. I really don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're all traitors. And you know what's worse than a traitor? A racist traitor, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, you know what we got to do. First of all, let's give all of my panelists, my moderators, and my subscribers, all right, and those who had the courage to actually help keep this live exciting, engaging, and entertaining. Let's give them all a round of applause. All right. But let's give one final round of booze and shame. We're going to give some booze and shame out to all of the Zeus haters. These are the people that come to my show every single day to tell me how much they don't like me, right? But then they'll turn around and go host lives about me, right? They will try to do exactly what they see me do, even put tank tops on to try to spice it up. These are some sick and twisted individuals, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen anything like this in my life. They get on TikTok, they go on Twitter, and they go on Facebook, and they spread misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. These same folks will get out here and say, oh, I had more money in my pocket while Trump was president, without acknowledging that what they're really saying is, thank you, Barack Obama, all right, for giving Donald Trump an economy that allowed me to have money in my pocket. Instead of it saying it like that, yes, they spread evil. They spread hatred. They spread misogyny. They spread racism. They spread bigotry. These aren't Christians. These are hypocrites. These aren't patriots. These are traitors. This is MAGA. This is who I'm talking about. Let's give them their final round of booze and shame. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Stay safe.
Most handsome in the kingdom.
And I really am the most handsome. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how I move.
Thank you,
when I'm walking
Jackie.
like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus.
Nathan's mom, I see ya. And Little Hawk, great show. Yes. And keep up the great work. All right. Hey, Miss Boss Diva. All right. Love you all. Tiffany for the people. Nice to see you, Linda. Shay, nice to see you. Rick, Let's go. Joe Two Wolves. Let's go. I can't leave it up to you. Harry Bernard. See you, champ. Cold as the days. I see you. Let's go. Let's go. PAA. Tinkerbell, I love you too. Miss Ball Steve, I see you. Let me play with your caboose. Hey, and shake it, shake it, shake it. Lady Rima, let's go. I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Slick as Rick, Tiffany for the people. Cold as the days. Let's go. All right, happy Monday to you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hey, Reggie. No, there's no Trump 2024 over here, laser focus. You've lost your mind. Rick, thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. Jazzy, Lady Rima. All right, thank you. I hope I'm saying that right. You know I'm terrible. Stacey Jones. You say you wanted facts, well, I'm living proof. Mark, there's not going to be a Trump 2024. Cut it out. I can pick a game of rules, so don't play me like a fool. Garvey, let's go. Let's go, Mrs. Silk, I see ya. Hey, hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. Hey, wow, we achieved our goal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Lady Remo. I will be back, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. Yes. Laser focus. How do you know what I own? You probably have a Donald Trump Stormy Daniels collection. Yeah, Coop, we're going on vacation. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. You know, here it goes. Here it goes.
I just want to find.
This isn't a lie, Mark. This happened. And
one more than we have.
see that right there will get you a RICO case, right? Yeah, can you help me out? I lost to Joe Biden, and I need you to find me some votes, all right? Thank you, Lady Rima. Hey, Reggie! Let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix.
He's deranged.
He's deranged. He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. Here we go.
Donald Trump is indicted and they take
one charge and they turn it into 36 charges.
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
Right.
They started just recently with this crap. They
Read the
started
tank
just
top,
recently.
yes.
They could have brought this lawsuit
Here we
Bernard,
go.
3 years ago, right after I left. It's been 3 years. But they didn't do that. And now they're saying, we have to go immediately before the Supreme Court. This thing would have all been over with 2 years ago. But they waited and waited and waited. And then they saw I was running and they waited. And then they saw I was hot. And they filed lawsuits. These are very dishonest people. That's called election interference. And now they're fighting like hell because they want to try and get a guilty plea.
Oh yeah, we want that.
From the Supreme Court of the United States, which I can't imagine because you have presidential immunity. But strange things happen. But they want to get that because that's the only way they're going to win the election. It's a very sick thing. But think of it. They waited and waited and waited for years. In fact, nobody thought, everyone was saying they're never going to bring any charges. Most people said they're not going to bring them because they don't have anything. And then all of a sudden we started getting hit with these lawsuits. And you know, now they're saying, let's...
Wow. That's an unhinged rant from somebody that they must have given him some uppers. He had some uppers the way he was rambling like that, trying to explain how he's innocent. He's not innocent, he's guilty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's drop the bomb.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right, you ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. I am out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all later. Have a great rest of your mornings.